Alright, what's up guys? So, let me ask you something. Have you guys noticed how Sailor Peace is literally everywhere right now? Like, seriously. One day it was just another anime game on Roblox, and then suddenly, boom! Hundreds of thousands of players, and it feels like it just completely took over. So today, we're gonna talk about why Sailor Peace blew up so fast, how it got here, and what makes it so addictive that people just can't stop playing. And trust me, there's actually a lot more to it than you might think. Without further ado, first, let's talk about the background of the game. Now, if you've played Roblox anime games before, you already know the formula. You go around, fight NPCs, level up, unlock abilities, and move from island to island. Sailor Peace follows that same idea, heavily inspired by One Piece. But here's the thing, even though it's not a completely new concept, what Sailor Peace does differently is how it stacks multiple systems together. You're not just leveling up, you're also rolling for traits, getting better races, finding stronger weapons, unlocking fruits, farming artifacts. Like, there's always something going on. And I wanna ask you real quick, doesn't it feel like there's something to grind for in this game? Like, you can just finish it easily, right? That's one of the biggest reasons people stay. Now, let's talk about how it blew up so fast. Because this wasn't slow growth. This was like instant takeover. And honestly, the biggest reason? Timing. A lot of Roblox anime games were starting to feel kinda repetitive. Players were getting bored, updates were slow, and people were just waiting for something new. Then, Sailor Peace dropped, and it didn't just attract new players, it pulled players from other games. So instead of building a community slowly, it basically inherited players who were already looking for something better. Now, here's probably the most important part, the progression system. Let me be real with you. This game feels rewarding, fast. Compared to other games where you grind for weeks just to get strong, Sailor Peace lets you feel powerful way quicker. You level up faster, unlock abilities faster, and you actually feel progress every time you play. And let me ask you, would you rather grind for months just to feel strong, or feel strong in like a few days? Exactly. That fast progression gives you constant dopamine, and that's what keeps people hooked up. But that's not even the most addictive part. Let's talk about the rolling system. You know, the trays, races, all that RNG stuff, because this is where the game really gets you. It is like gambling, you know. You're always thinking, okay, just one more roll, maybe I'll get something better. Alright, this is the one. And before you know it, you've been grinding for hours. And the crazy part is the difference between a bad roll and a good roll is huge. So it actually feels worth it. That loop of grinding, rolling, and getting stronger? Yeah, that's what makes a game super addictive. Also, the game feels deep, but it's actually simple. You are mostly just fighting NPCs, doing quests, and farming bosses. But because there are so many systems layered on top of each other, it feels like there's always more to do. So even if the gameplay is simple, you don't really get bored. There's always another goal. And of course, we gotta talk about updates. Because one thing that kills Roblox games fast is when developers just stop updating or it delays the update much more. But Sailor Peace, they keep adding new content pretty often. New islands, new bosses, new abilities, and new stuff to grind. So the game never really feels dead. And at the time of recording this, I think there's already a new update. It was an SDET update. Yeah. And let me ask you something. How many times have you quit a game just because it stopped updating? Like me, I don't really like games that don't update often because you can't grind new stuff, no content to play, and it's just boring, you know? I also play this game called Dungeon Quest, but sadly the developers told us that they were not gonna update the game anymore and focus on other projects, sadly. I was planning on grinding that game even more, but never mind. It's a bit boring to play games that doesn't even update and no new stuff to grind. Yeah, you know. Let's get back to Sailor Piece. Another big reason for its success is just how accessible it is. You can play it on PC, mobile, console, and other gadgets or devices. So, there's really no barrier to entry. Anyone can just hop in, start playing, and when a game is that easy to access, hell yeah, it's gonna grow fast. And we can't ignore this part either. Content creators. You've probably seen tons of videos about Sailor Piece guides, showcase, tier lists, and etc. Once YouTubers start pushing a game like that, it spreads like crazy. More videos equals more players equals more hype equals even more players. See, it's basically a loop. Now, I'm not gonna act like the game is that perfect. Some people say it's too grindy like myself. I don't really play Sailor Piece that much, but it's still a great game though. And some people say it's too grindy, some say it relies too much on RNG, others think the PvP isn't that great, and honestly, those are fair points. But here's the thing, that doesn't stop people from enjoying it, because at the end of the day, the game is designed to be fun, fast, and rewarding. So when you put everything together, Sailor Piece didn't take over Roblox because it was completely original. It took over because it did everything people wanted. It came at the perfect time, made progression faster, added addictive systems, and it kept updating frequently. It was also easy for anyone to play, and honestly, that's all it needed. But now, I wanna hear from you guys. Do you think Sailor Piece actually deserves the hype? Or do you think it's just another game that'll die out later? Let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious what you guys think. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Please subscribe!